Hey guys, Strong Side Series back again. It's Alex.
Justin the Orange Dream.
And it's me, Noah.
And we are here with your Chikara. You Only Live Twice IPPV review. Chikara finally made its return back on May 25th. About damn time it came back, man. Yeah. I miss Chikara.
Yeah, the wrestling world needs Chikara because I think a lot of times we take wrestling too seriously, and Chikara remembers that it's supposed to be fun. And we watch Chikara and just laugh and have a good time, and it's, you know, it has a very important function in the wrestling world, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's nice because it's so different from everything else that it's a real alternative.
Yeah, it really is.
One thing I always find interesting about, like, when I watch a Chikara show is, like, even if a match isn't, like, you know, amazing match of the year contender, I still, like, enjoy almost every match on a card. Like, even, like, the simple squash matches or the cow match or whatever. It's just, like, Chikara, like, really does a good job of, like, making every match feel fun and enjoyable, even if it's not the best match of the night.
So, welcome back, Chikara. Glad to have you back.
Alright, well, we started things off with the Spectral Envoy versus the BDK. It had Aries and Tertius were on the team. I don't know who the other guy was.
Knockin'.
Okay, whatever.
Knockin'.
Some huge dude, but like...
Yeah, it was.
And this was a very, very fun match. I mean, this crowd was super, super hot for the Spectral Envoy, man.
Yeah.
They were on fire, and that's really what made this match that much more fun for me, was just like how into it the crowd was, just into every little thing they did. And it was a very fun match. It was really cool seeing the Spectral Envoy back again. I miss those guys a lot. BDK, I don't think they have missed a beat. Like, they're still really good at what they do. I've always enjoyed Tertius, so seeing him back was awesome. And him working with Frightened was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought this was a really good opener. You know, there was a lot of action in this match. Like you said, the crowd was just absolutely hot for the Spectral Envoy. This was a great way to reintroduce us to that faction and the BDK. This match was kind of to reestablish the BDK, what they're, you know, what they're like now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought this match had a really nice flow to it. Had some really cool spots near the end.
Yeah.
I just thought this worked really well as the opener.
I give it 3.
Are we gonna let Noah discuss it?
I'm sorry.
Well, I agree with both of you. I thought this was a very good opener. I thought that this was a good spot for this on the card. I think that the crowd was really excited about this show in general. And you throw out the Envoy, and they're so over that they just went crazy for it. I think Tertius looks better than I've seen him. I think he's much more agile. So like you said, had a good pace. It was fun, and I thought this was a good opener.
Yeah. Ratings?
3.
I'll give it a 3 1/4.
I'll give it 3.
Okay. Next up, we had Chuck Taylor taking on a new guy from one of the Wrestling Is promoting, smooth sailing Alex Remington. Ashley Remington. Sorry. He didn't impress me enough to deserve me remembering his name. This was all right. I mean, I love Chuck Taylor. I mean, Chuck Taylor is always fun, especially in Chikara. Ashley Remington was pretty good. Crowd seemed to be really into his shtick, and you know, it was a very basic match, but it was fun for what they did.
Yeah, I think with this guy, these are the kinds of matches he should be having right now, with some, you know, more veteran guys, and he's got kind of, you know, he's got a comedy gimmick attached to him, so learning that style where you can work with a guy who's a solid wrestler but can also kind of teach you how to, you know, something about effective comedy and crowd interaction like Chuck Taylor can. That's kind of what the purpose of this match was. As it was pretty basic but still entertaining, just because Chuck Taylor is always entertaining to me. But Ashley Remington did a pretty good job, you know.
I think so, yeah.
He kept up with him well enough.
Had a nice little finisher too, the submission finisher, like the variation of the House of Pain.
Yeah, so I didn't think it was great, but I liked it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was easy to sit through. Taylor, always enjoyable to watch. I mean, I could watch him work every day. You know, it's just so funny, but he can actually wrestle.
Yeah.
It seems like this Remington guy was pretty over. At least his gimmick, people there were chants for him. People,
they were doing like the wages or whatever. So
he's got potential, I think. So we'll see how.
I would say he's working the gimmick pretty well right now. It's entertaining.
Yes.
I also really liked at the end when he gave Chuck Taylor a fruit basket after losing.
Yeah.
That was
pretty.
And the crowd putting him over so much. Not the crowd. The commentary putting him over so much was pretty funny.
And Taylor's reaction to getting
it's just kind of like what the heck? Like, oh, that's nice. You know. I give this like 2.
I give this 2.5. I thought it was decent.
I'm gonna split the difference. I give it to him.
Okay. And I think after this we had Gavin have a little segment where he introduced the new owner of Chikara, who then introduced the new director of fun, which was Mike Quackenbush, which got probably the biggest pop of the night, which was really awesome to see Mike again. And Mike just gave a very heartfelt promo about how the fans stuck with Chikara during this whole shutdown thing, and basically, you know, brought the idea like, hey, Chikara's back and we're gonna make it better than ever, kind of thing. So. And
kind of like how everyone in the Chikara army is like part of, like, you are Chikara, you are Chikara, we're all Chikara.
Yeah, it was a nice moment.
It was really good, yeah.
Especially for the show that it was on, it meant something.
One thing I liked the crowd did was they didn't chant "Welcome back," they chanted "Welcome home" to Mike, which was really cool, and you could tell Mike was getting a little choked up by that. So.
Now he had a noticeable limp. Is that legit?
I'm thinking, he has had some serious injuries. Like, I think he has retired from in-ring competition.
Yeah.
But I think the limp might be him selling the whole thing.
I think it's at least partially true.
Yeah. But, like, I know that he did have some very serious injuries, and that's one thing that led to him retiring. But I don't know if it's that serious. But I don't think so. I think he might be milking it for a little bit.
Okay.
Hopefully. I would be really sucky of them to have seen Mike Quackenbush walk around with a limp for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
After this, we had probably the worst match of the night, which was the Batiri versus Sinn, Bodhi, and the Odditorium. Love the Batiri. I think they're a great trio. Not a fan of Sinn, Bodhi, and I've never seen the Odditorium before. And the Odditorium basically dominated this whole match and just got heat on the Batiri all match. And then the Batiri got a few cool spots in, and then Sinn, Bodhi low-blowed one of the Batiri, and it was a DQ finish.
Yeah.
Very, very disappointing.
Yeah, flat finish, and it didn't do what I thought it needed to do to kind of... They're really trying to get the Batiri over his faces here. And I think they should do that by making them look strong, and this match didn't do that. Like you said, they got worked over the whole match. They didn't really get a chance to even show their stuff. So I don't see how this match accomplished anything. It wasn't like the worst match in the world, but
no, it was just
there was just really no point to it.
It was just very like compared to the other match in the card. Like this one told the story that it was trying to tell the weakest, I think.
Yeah.
Like I understand what they were trying to do. Like that, like the Batiri were just trying to get their hands on these guys, and they basically got away to fight another day. But like you could have done better.
I thought it was just, they had too many finishes, like either like weak finishes or like cheating finishes.
This was hard for me to sit through. It was slow, and the heat segment was boring. I mean, there was nothing special. Kick, stomp, Sinn, Bodhi really doesn't do anything for me.
No, I think he's got. I think he's got that just doesn't fit in Chikara.
I don't think he's got a spot. I don't think that any of it's working.
No.
Because like you said, this was a time to get the Batiri over a little more. Make them look good on their return.
They should be squashing, or at least sounding beating
it down
like this. Yeah.
And like they didn't get even. It seemed like their hope spots were really small. Didn't care for this at all.
I give this a star.
I gave it a star as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a star.
All right, 3 stars.
It doesn't work that way. I wish.
All right. Next we had Jervis Cottonbelly taking on Juan Francisco de Coronado. Both these guys are from Wrestling Is Promotions. Juan Francisco, I remember seeing at the National Pro Wrestling Day, and I thought this guy was pretty good. So I was kind of happy to see him in Chikara. And again, this was much like the Chuck Taylor-Ashley Remington match. It was a very basic match. Basically it was done to introduce these guys to the Chikara fan and get over like, okay, Jervis Cottonbelly is a comedy guy, but a serious wrestler, and De Coronado is a sneaky, douchey heel.
Yeah, basically.
But it was fun. I enjoyed it, and the crowd was really into it because they like Cottonbelly a lot. So. Yeah.
No one wants to take the lead here?
I don't know. The only problem I have with these matches is that like this is their return iPay-per-view. They have other shows that you can buy. I feel like maybe their iPay-per-view is not the best place to introduce guys because I just didn't care that much to see them. I wanted to see storyline progression, like what's going on. Target guys that are going to be in this main feud. Instead of like a bunch of multi-man matches, we could have seen a little more.
Yeah,
but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I understand your point. I think with this though, just since they are coming, this was their first show back. and the first show back is an IPPV. They kind of, you know, needed to introduce these guys. So I guess waiting, you know, maybe waiting would have been weird. But they just want, I think what they were saying is we just want to, we're coming back, we want to show what the new Chikara, new former Chikara looks like. Here are the new guys.
That's fair.
Get them used to them as fast as possible.
I think good. I ended up giving this 2 1/4.
I gave this 2 stars.
I gave it 2.
Oh, okay. Alright, next up we had a 4-corner tag team elimination match between 3.0, the Pieces of Hate, the Throwbacks, and the Gekido, DVN, and 17. This was actually a very, very fun match. I enjoyed this quite a bit. I thought everyone really looked good here. Like one thing they mentioned on commentary is that like the Pieces of Hate are no longer the Chikara champions because they sold them to Jolly Rogers and some pirate, whatever, some team from wrestling is. They're like, they're old Chikara guys, whatever. So that's worth mentioning, I guess. But it was awesome seeing Dasher Hatfield and Touchdown teaming up again because I love those two guys. 3.0, they haven't missed a beat. Pieces of Hate are still like one of the most crisp tag teams I've seen in a long time. And so that was a lot of fun. Just really cool stuff. I mean, they did a great job of building up Dasher Hatfield and Touchdown as like a very dominant tag team, I think, and a very big tag team to come in this year.
Yeah, this was just kind of that classic Chikara 4-team elimination match. And again, I think what this was, since they're coming back, they're trying to say like this is our tag team division right here. It's like, these are the tag teams that
keep an eye on for.
Keep an eye on for that are going to be competing. And also, a lot of these are, like, the Pieces of Hate were the former champions. 3.0 and Throwbacks are kind of signature teams, you know. So this was kind of just a match to get these guys all back in the swing of things. And I thought every team looked good. And there was nothing crazy or, like, holy shit about this match, but it was just fun start to finish. Very easy to sit through. I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, this was, as you would expect with these guys, very fun match. You know, not a whole lot of psychology. It's just, you know, but just everybody looked good, and the Pieces of Hate, like you said, it's fun to see them back. It's weird that when I saw them, I realized that I missed seeing them. You know. And that was the same for a lot of these guys. Touchdown, especially. Of course, I felt I missed them the whole time. But, everybody looked good here, and it makes me excited about their tag division, and I think that's exactly like you were saying was the point. And I hope that they really push the tag division like they normally do, and so it's something to look forward to.
One thing I want to add, I thought the big finish at the end was a little flat. Like just Touchdown did the late suplex up the top onto DVN or whatever for the pin. I thought like, you could have a better finish than that a little bit, but you know, whatever. It was. I I'm just a big sucker for that like spine buster that Touchdown does. So.
I gotta say that the Throwbacks are looking better as a team. Like,
I agree.
They look like the probably the best tag team right now from what I've seen.
I'd probably still go Pieces of Hate.
Pieces of Hate. Well, at least the Throwbacks look like they can compete with them now. I would really much enjoy seeing them have a run with the tag belt sometime this year.
I would definitely see that happening. I went 3 1/4.
I also went 3 1/4.
I went 3.
Okay. And then we had a match that me and Noah were really looking forward to: Archibald Peck versus Jimmy Jacobs. I'm a big fan of Archibald Peck. I think he's one of the best like comedy guys out there right now, just really fun at matches. And Jimmy Jacobs is, in my opinion, the most underrated guy in all wrestling, like maybe ever.
He's one of the most.
Yeah.
Sure.
So before this, though, we had a really great Jimmy Jacobs promo about like how he's with the Flood, and you know, like I like this is just like, you know, like you guys think you know why I'm in this group, but you have no idea why. You know, it was really cool. It was classic Jimmy Jacobs promo.
That was a really fantastic.
So cool to see Jimmy Jacobs and Chikara.
Oh, I know. I think he's like I was talking to Noah about this, and I think he's like the perfect villain for Chikara.
I would say so too.
I mean, he just fits so naturally. I think just because he's just such an anti-Chikara. You know, he's an anti-fun and you know family-friendly stuff.
Especially in the way that they're using him as being part of the Flood.
I agree.
Plus, in the ring, he fits in with everybody. The style he can fit in. He's
the storytelling guy.
But yeah, this match was pretty disappointing. I think it was done in a way where it was again getting Peck over as a future top babyface, and establishing Jimmy Jacobs as like the lead heel of the faction. And in that regard, it did well. I mean, these guys did work pretty well together, I thought. They had some fun in the match. Archibald Peck doing like 10 DDTs to Jimmy Jacobs was kind of ridiculous, but it was cool. And then the finish was kind of flat, where like the guys interfered and Jimmy Jacobs stole a win.
Yeah.
So, and that's what the thing we were talking about. It's like a lot of heels won tonight, and I was very disappointed with that. Like I know you want to get the Flood over as like a dominant heel stable, but like you know you could have had a few faces go over too.
Especially in the ways that they went over. A lot of like
cheating. You know, very WWE style wins from a lot of the heels.
Yeah.
I ended up going like 2 3/4. I thought it was a very fun match, and like I could definitely see this being a main event down the road, and when there's more time for this feud to build up, and these guys just going crazy and having a great match.
Yeah, I thought, like you said, this was just kind of a match just there to establish a few things, advance what they're going for. I thought they were working pretty well together. It just didn't really hit like a next level. They were kind of just out there to have this basic match to tell the story.
Right. And
it was kind of short as well, and the finish kind of hurt it. But you know, while the match was going on, for what they did have, I enjoyed the way they interacted and stuff. And I would give this 2.5.
I'm gonna agree with you and give it 2.5. A little disappointed by this match, but I mean, given that this is the first episode of the season, you can't expect these guys to go all out and give you their best match.
You can't get the big climax in the first episode. Yeah.
But I'm hoping that the next matches are just
I would love to see Jimmy Jacobs be the Chikara Grand Champion and like have like a heel champion, then be Peck, have Peck be the one to beat him maybe or something like that.
They could do something like that, yeah.
That would work. Right. And then we had probably what might have been the match of the night, which was the Colony, which is Green Ant, Fire Ant, and Worker Ant, which is formerly a Sailin, taking on the Colony Extreme Force. This match had a lot of background to it, so I was really happy to see this on the very first show. And this match delivered big time, I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys came to work. Fire Ant, Green Ant are just two of the most crisp wrestlers in all of Chikara. Green Ant especially, man. That guy has gotten so good in so little time, I think. It's so impressive. Worker Ant still needs some fine-tuning. He's still a little green and a little sloppy at times, but he's gotten considerably better than when he started out.
I would agree, yeah.
And the Colony Extreme Force has improved a little bit, too. Missile Assault Ant may be the best one, though. That guy is good, and he took a lot of punishment and did a lot of crazy stuff, but this was a really, really fun match. This is just classic Chikara Trios action.
Right. I would agree with that. And what you said about Green Ant, I wanted to kind of touch on that myself. I was blown away. Like, I didn't even know if it was the same guy. That's how much he's improved. Yeah. Because he's way more athletic. He's put on some size, but he's more athletic. He's doing he's opened up his moveset a lot. Doing a lot more exciting moves in addition to the submission and technical wrestling he's so good at. He might end up being, one of, if not the best Chikara worker if he keeps improving like this.
I'm fully ready for him to be the Chikara Grand Champion as well.
Like you said, he was looking like he had put on weight, but he was more cut than I had seen him. He was faster, and he was moving around the ring better than I've ever seen him move. And everything was crisp. And so I look forward to seeing more of him. Yeah, definitely.
I just like the dynamics in this new colony right now. Because each guy brings something slightly different, and they work really well together. Because Fire Ant's like the high flyer, Green Ant's it's still a technical guy, but does a lot of exciting stuff too. And then you have Worker Ant's kind of the power guy,
the bruiser,
the muscle, the tank. Yeah. And the Colony Extreme Force, I like how they've moved away from being strictly comedy to actually being able to put on matches. Because it was kind of annoying for me at first when they were just kind of there for comedy. Yeah. And they proved here they can hang with the Colony, and they are a pretty good trio. So
I agree.
I thought this match accomplished a lot. It was a really good match. This was good all around.
Hated the finish though.
Yeah.
This is where, because like at the end of Chikara, like when we last left it, the Colony Extreme Force had gotten over on the Colony. So it's like this is where you should have the Colony win.
I thought so too.
And then you can keep building the feud from there. And then you could have the Colony win and get back the medals that were taken from them, whatever. So they really should have had the Kami go over here. That was like the only. And then right there, I'm like, okay, that's where you should let the face team win.
And that's the problem. That was one of the problems with this show is like you felt like they were constantly pumping the brakes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
I give this 3.5. I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, I would agree. 3.5.
Yep, 3.5.
Okay. And then we had the main event, the Chikara Grand Championship match. Eddie Kingston taking on Icarus. The long-awaited rematch, I guess. I gotta say, I think this might be just as good as the first match they had, but probably a little bit better just because they actually had a finish this time. But man, they worked pretty hard this match. They told a very nice story of just Eddie Kingston being an asshole, basically, to Icarus who refused to give up. And I feel really bad for Icarus in this match because Kingston basically stiffed the shit out of him all match.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of him.
The slaps,
the strikes. Icarus suffered a legitimate concussion during this match, and it's not hard to see why.
Yeah, not surprising.
What do you want to say?
Yeah, this match worked really well just because Kingston, I mean, their roles, they played their roles perfectly. Kingston, just the bruiser, don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna beat your ass. Icarus playing the resilient underdog roles, which is what they were going for. Basically, it was that Kingston was beating his ass, but Icarus wouldn't give up. He used his willpower. He kind of did a little John Cena impression in this match. But I thought this worked really well to accomplish what it was going for, to put Icarus over. That's the type of match they needed to put Icarus over as the new top face. Yeah,
because it was a nice job, like showing that Icarus basically had to go to war and beat a guy who was almost undefeatable, and and basically had to survive this guy.
Right.
Also, I want to add, Icarus loved the new ring gear.
Yeah,
that was really nice. It was almost like you said like
his tattoo isn't showing.
Yeah, you said like he had like the little bit of John Cena impersonation. Yeah, he looked like a superhero in that outfit.
He did. He looked like the what's that hero? The Greatest American Hero. That show. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. But I think that's what they're going.
Whatever.
For. You do.
Oh. Okay.
But I thought this was a very good match. Eddie Kingston, he wrestled this match like he did not want to give up that title. Like
yeah,
exactly. And I enjoyed that.
I thought that was what really made it for me. And he was beating the absolute hell out of him. Icarus, you could tell at one point that I thought he was gassed.
Yeah.
But I guess, like you said, he did get a concussion.
The last 5 minutes especially, like you could tell like okay, Icarus has got rocked hard. He's a little out of that.
Yeah. You could tell there was something wrong. But that kind of added to the story in a little bit that it seemed like Icarus had to go to his last. He had to crawl. He was on his reserves.
Yeah.
So it worked. Unfortunately, there was some sloppy parts, but other than
the only part I remember like really them botching was when Icarus went for the Blu-ray and he dropped Kingston. Yeah, which Kingston's a big dude to get up on your shoulder. And when you're got a concussion, it's like that's.
Yeah, I was impressed he was able to recover and do the move.
But like you're speaking about like Eddie Kingston stepping on. I remember like one part where they do like the hope spot like where like he's like firing back or boo boo, and Kingston's like boom, like Icarus like like he barely able to get those shots off, man.
Yeah. My problem with it wasn't the botch, because mistakes happen.
Yeah.
But I just thought that it kind of came too much out of nowhere. It was just there was a beating, then he did like a couple moves, and then won. Like I didn't believe at that point that Kingston would submit after that.
Well, no, he didn't submit. He passed out. Also, one thing I gotta add is like Icarus did this again at the last pay-per-view. He does the wrong arm. Like it's not supposed to be the arm and leg on the same side. It's supposed to be a cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that always bothers me. Like he did that twice, and so it's like Icarus. If you're gonna use Chikara, especially, you gotta use it right, man.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought the finish was kind of flat, but that was really my only major complaint with the match.
But it made it. You knew that Icarus was gonna have to win with the Chikara special.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And also, it was really cool, like with the whole roster, man, doing the supporting, whatever. All right. What'd you end up giving the match?
I gave it 3.5.
I went 3.5 as well.
I also went 3.5.
All right. So. Funny story about the ending of this show. The show ended, Icarus wins the belt, screen goes black. Like, okay, let's turn it off, and we're sitting around, and I gotta look online, it's like, oh my god, something's happening. I'm like, what the heck? So we missed the entire aftermath of this match. So we had to go back and watch it again. So basically, the ending was, it cuts to black, and like 30 seconds later, or at least like a minute later, comes back on, and here comes the flood. There, and there's this one giant dude who looked like Bane.
Yeah.
Brings these two hooded figures out, and he unmasks one. It's Souldrand, and he unmasks the other. It's Delirious. Delirious goes right after Ultramantis Black, which was awesome seeing Delirious back then. And Souldrand then attacks the colony, and it was like, holy crap! You know, Souldrand's turned on the spot on the colony, and like that was crazy. And then Cobalt got in the ring and tried to attack the Bane-looking dude, who then picked him up and basically broke him.
Yeah.
He murdered that dude.
It was like breaking Batman's back style.
No kidding, man.
Yeah, I really liked this segment though because it was so unexpected. You were just like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
What happened? And then just like some crazy shit like Soldier at me, and this did a lot. And
yeah, that was crazy. Like I was just feeling like, oh, they killed off the Soldier and gimmick. He's never coming back. You know?
Delirious back is awesome.
Delirious back. I was so happy Delirious is back, man.
Because I know he's very busy as Booker in ROH, but it's really nice to be able to see him wrestle somewhere because I'm really entertained by him, and he fits in very well in Chikara.
Oh, he's
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
He could be grand champion if he didn't have
those other commitments.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like the idea of like Souldrand being a heel now because I was a big Souldrand fan like near the end of his Chikara run last year because like I thought he like right now he improved huge.
Yeah.
And very interested to see who this big huge dude is, but I was also very shocked that they killed off the Cobalt character.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was a pretty over gimmick with a lot of fans.
Really?
They killed him off.
Well, I mean, like I guess it was kind of
the fans seemed to enjoy it,
Yeah.
They got into it, kind of like the Batiri, like they got into the gimmick. So it's like it's very odd that they would kill off a character like that.
I think it's I mean, it really does help further this story.
Oh, I agree.
They want this to be taken seriously within the confines of the.
So my wonder is like if they're gonna like do like the if they're gonna have like a flood character get taken out by the Rudos or something maybe.
No, I guess we'll have to tune in.
I guess so.
Tune in next
what would you end up giving the show overall?
I gave this a 7.25. I didn't think it was a spectacular show, but it was fun. I thought it accomplished a lot, though, and that's one of the reasons I really liked it. It was easy to sit through. A lot of fun, but not great stuff on the show. But overall, I felt this was as good as it needed to be. It was good enough.
Yeah, 7.25. I agree. It may not have been the show we wanted, but it was the show we needed. It was the show. It was
okay.
I guess
Poignant stuff.
You needed to introduce this. You needed to bring back Chikara. You couldn't just jump right into the heavy stuff. You needed to introduce it slowly to the characters, to the plot so far. It was exactly what it needed to be. It introduced the new people. Introduced and it was good for the old fans who had been around forever. It was a good way to like bring them back and like remember like, oh yeah, this is fun.
So you're saying they're just not gonna throw everything out at once? And
yeah, you're not gonna throw out like like there's like a lot of like Chikara, crazy Chikara story, but you're not gonna throw that all out there right away. You're gonna do it slowly, like let people get back used to like what Chikara is again.
Yeah, and
so it was exactly what it needed to be.
Yeah, I think obviously Quack and whoever else does creative stuff for Chikara. I'm guessing Quack mainly, but knows what they're doing. They have a clear vision, so put their trust in them. All right, Noah.
This one, like Chikara is always hard to,
exactly,
to score these. When I thought that the show ended when it did, I was gonna give it like a 7.
Yeah.
But I think that after seeing the aftermath and the whole card in its scope, I'm gonna go 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I thought it worked. I thought it did exactly what they wanted to. Like you guys were saying. So.
All right.
So I'd say this might not be like a must-see show for a casual fan, but for people
Well,
who
for
are
someone
into
who's,
Chikara,
if you're interested in Chikara,
or want to get back into
Chikara,
this
is where you start.
Yeah.
This is a good place to introduce them.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. Take care.